Hello students, I am Dr. Ashish Kumar Suri. Welcome to revision summary part 6 of unit 8 of management. In today's session, we will discuss about dispersion. Again, it is a part of statistics. So, this topic was also introduced a few time back. अभी तक इसमें से कोई क्वेश्चन नहीं आया है एग्जाम में, but again it doesn't mean that in future also no questions will come. We can definitely expect some questions in the coming examination. So we will cover the topic in detail. So what do we mean by the word dispersion? Dispersion, or it is also known as deviation. It means difference. So what is dispersion? It is defined as the extent to which individual item differs on an average from mean. So dispersion is that if we have been given a series of data, then to what extent the individual values of the series differ from mean or any central value. It measures the amount of variation or its degree but not the direction. Dispersion amount of variation measure करता है, okay, लेकिन direction measure नहीं करता. Direction is measured by another statistical tool which is known as skewness, right? More is the difference between the individual items and mean, more will be the dispersion. So for example, in last video we have seen measures of central tendency, where we have learned to calculate mean, median, mode, geometric mean and harmonic mean. So say we have been given a statistical series and we have calculated mean for the given series. But sometimes what happened, the difference between the individual value from the mean is very large, or the difference among the different values is large. So in that case, mean is not a good measure of the central tendency. So what we need to do in that case, we also need to measure the amount of variation in the given data. For example, say there are two batsmen and in last 3 innings, batsman 1 has scored 50, 50 and 50 runs in each inning. Okay. On the other hand, batsman 2 has scored 0, 100 and 50 runs. Okay. Now if we will take the average of these two batsmen, then for first batsman, average will be 50 plus 50 plus 50, that is 150 divided by 3. So the average also comes out to be 50. For batsman 2, the average will be 0 plus 100 plus 50, 150 divided by 3. Again this average is 50. So if we will only look at the average runs scored by each batsman in last 3 innings, so their average comes out to be same. But if we are interested in knowing that which batsman is more consistent, then definitely batsman 1 is more consistent as compared to batsman 2. Why? Because he has the difference in the scores, the difference in the runs scored by him in last 3 innings is there is no difference. He has scored same runs. While if we look at the runs difference in the runs scored by batsman 2 in last 3 innings, then there is a huge difference, although their mean comes out to be same. So in case when the difference in the different values of the given series is large, we also need to calculate deviation, or we are interested in calculating the amount of variation. Okay. So there are various methods to calculate dispersion or deviation. These methods can be divided into 2 parts, absolute measures and relative measures. What is the difference between the two? Absolute measures measure dispersion only in a given set of data. एक given set of data में अगर हमें dispersion amount of variation measure करना है, then we will use absolute measures of dispersion. So different absolute measures of dispersion are range, quartile deviation, mean deviation or average deviation, standard deviation and variance. Okay, out of all these, standard deviation is the best measure of dispersion. Why? We will discuss in the later part of this presentation. The relative measures of dispersion means if we have been given 2 or more than 2 sets of data and we are interested in comparing the difference or the dispersion among the given series of data, then we use relative measure. Okay, अगर हमें 2 या 2 से ज़्यादा set of data given है और हमें compare करना है कि किस set of data में dispersion ज़्यादा है और किस में कम, then we use relative measures of dispersion. So different relative measures of dispersion are coefficient of range, coefficient of quartile deviation, coefficient of mean deviation, coefficient of standard deviation and coefficient of variance. Out of these, coefficient of variance is the widely used relative measure of dispersion. So we will start with range. Range, it's a very common name. It is the difference between the highest. It is the difference between the highest and the lowest value in a distribution. So the very simple formula of range is R equals to highest or H minus lowest or L. Okay, range is highest minus lowest value in a given series. Okay, so if a batsman has scored, say again 0, 20, 80, 95, 48 runs in last 5 innings. So in this case, range will be highest. Highest value here is 95. Lowest value here is 0. So range will be highest minus lowest value, that is 95 minus 0, or range will be 95. Although because range considers only 2 values of the given series, so it is not a good measure of dispersion, still it has some specific applications. Okay, a very common application of range is when we measure the temperature of a particular area in a particular day, then we usually look at the highest or the lowest temperature of a particular day. So we calculate the range in which the temperature varies. In stock market, we are interested in the highest price of a particular stock in a particular day and also the lowest price of the stock in a particular day. So that gives us the idea that in which range the stock price moves. So although range is not a good measure of dispersion because of the reason that it only consider 2 values, highest value and the lowest value, still it has some specific applications. We can also find out the coefficient of range. It will be H minus L divided by H plus L. Highest minus lowest value divided by highest plus lowest value. Now we can see if we are taking the difference of 2 values and if we are adding the same two values, then surely here this numerator is less than, here the numerator is less than denominator. Okay, so coefficient of range will have a value less than 1. Okay, it may be equal to 1 also. Okay, if L is say 0. Okay, so for example in this case 95 minus 0 will be 95, 95 plus 0 will be 95. So at maximum the coefficient of range may attain 1 value or else it will be less than 1. Then we have quartile deviations. Now what are quartile? Quartiles are partition values. Okay, so there are 3 quartiles. Say if we have been given a set of data where we are having 40 observations, x1, x2 and so on, x40. Okay, so what are quartiles? Quartiles divide a given set of data into 4 equal parts. Quartiles divide a given data into 4 equal parts. Okay, there are 3 quartiles which are Q1, Q2 and Q3. There are 3 quartiles, Q1, Q2 and Q3. Q1 is known as lower quartile. Q1 is known as lower quartile. Second quartile Q2 is same as that of median that we have discussed in the measures of central tendency. Q2 is nothing but the median itself. Okay, so Q2 is the median. Remember, this is important. The third quartile Q3. Q3 is called the upper quartile. Okay, so how to find out quartile? Q1. Q1 is the value of n upon 4th observation. Q1 is the value of n upon 4th observation. So say if n is 40, 40 upon 10 will be 40 upon 4 will be 10. So the value of 10th observation, will be Q1. Q2 or median. Median we have already discussed. Median is the value of middle observation. So 40 upon 2, 20. So Q2 will be what? The value of 20th observation. Fine. Q3 is the value of, Q3 will be the value of 3n by 4th observation. Okay. So n by 4 is 10, multiply by 3, 30. So the value of 30th observation will be what? Q3. So look, these three values have divided the data into 4 equal parts. Look how. This is first part from x1 to x10. From x11 to x20 we have second part. From x21 to x30 we have third part. And from x31 to x40 we have fourth part. Okay, so quartiles divide the data into 4 equal parts, where each part is having equal number of observation. Okay, so these are quartiles. Quartiles are partition values, and there are 3 quartiles always. Q1 is lower quartile, Q2 is nothing but the median itself, and Q3 is upper quartile. Okay. Now quartile range. Quartile range is Q3 minus Q1. Q3 minus Q1 is what the quartile range. If we will calculate the value of third quartile and the first quartile, and then if we will take the difference between the two, we will get the interquartile range. Okay, or quartile range. Now look, from Q1 to Q3, we have 50% observations only. Okay, this part contains 25% observation, this part contains 25%, this part another again contains 25%, this part also 25% observation. So from Q1 to Q3 we have 50% observations. So interquartile range includes or considers only 50% of observation. Remember, this is important. Now quartile deviation is, once we have calculated the interquartile range, then if we will divide it by 2, we will get quartile deviation. So quartile deviation QD is Q3 minus Q1 divided by 2. So it is also called semi interquartile range. क्योंकि हमने quartile range को 2 से divide कर दिया, so QD is also semi interquartile range. These are absolute measures of variation. If we have to calculate the relative measure, we can calculate coefficient of quartile deviation. So it is Q3 minus Q1 divided by Q3 plus Q1. Again, this value will be less than or equal to this value. So coefficient of QD will also have a value less than equal to 1. Okay, so as I have told you, interquartile range consider only 50% observations of the series. This is one of the biggest drawback of interquartile range, that it neglects 50% of the observation in the series. Then we have mean deviation. In the last video, we have understood how to calculate mean, median and mode. Okay. Now, once after calculating mean, median or mode, we can find out mean deviation. Mean deviation can be calculated from mean, so it will be mean deviation from median. It can be calculated from median, so it will be mean deviation from median, and it can also be calculated from mode, so mean deviation from mode. So what is mean deviation? It is the arithmetic average of the deviation of all values taken from some average value, mean, median or mode of the series. तो हम क्या कर रहे हैं, say we have been given 5 values x1, x2, x3, x4 and x5. Okay, now we have calculated the median value of the given series. So the median is say m. So now what we will do, we will subtract this median value from all the values. We will subtract this median value from all these values. Now some of these value will be positive and some will be negative also. Now what we will do, we will take the modulus value. You can see in the formula we have 2 lines here. These 2 lines means modulus value. Now what do we mean by modulus value? Modulus value is the positive value. Okay, so अगर x1 minus m का वैल्यू नेगेटिव भी होगा तो भी हम क्या कर रहे हैं, मॉडुलस वैल्यू यानी कि उसका पॉजिटिव वैल्यू ही कंसीडर करेंगे. फॉर एग्जांपल इफ अ वैल्यू इज देयर से -5, सो मॉडुलस ऑफ -5 इज 5, मॉडुलस ऑफ -8 इज 8 and modulus of 8 is a positive value, its modulus will be 8 only. So we will take modulus of all these values. Okay, like this, and then we will add all these positive values, modulus values. So we are taking what, summation of all these modulus value, and then we will divide this sum by n. So what we are doing, हम कुछ वैल्यूज को ऐड करके n से डिवाइड कर रहे हैं. तो ऐसा जब हम कर रहे हैं तो व्हाट वी आर कैलकुलेटिंग, वी आर कैलकुलेटिंग द मीन ऑफ दोज वैल्यूज. और ये वैल्यू कौन सी हैं, दीज आर द डेविएशन फ्रॉम सम एवरेज, और हम उसका क्या निकाल रहे हैं, अरिथमेटिक मीन. सो मीन डेविएशन इज द अरिथमेटिक एवरेज ऑफ डेविएशन ऑफ ऑल द वैल्यूज फ्रॉम सम एवरेज वैल्यू विच मे बी मीन, मीडियन और मोड. सो ऑल दीज थ्री आर again absolute measures of deviation. If we have to find out the relative measure, so we can find out coefficient of mean deviation from mean, median or mode. How we can find out? Once we have calculated the value of mean deviation from mean, now if we will divide this value by mean, we will get mean deviation from mean. Okay, coefficient of mean deviation from mean. Similarly, if we will divide this value by median or by mode, then we will get coefficient of mean deviation from median or mode. Now what is the drawback of this method? It considers all positive values. अगर नेगेटिव वैल्यू है तो हम क्या कर रहे हैं, साइन इग्नोर कर रहे हैं और केवल पॉजिटिव मॉडुलस वैल्यू को कंसीडर कर रहे हैं. सो दिस इज द प्रिंसिपल ड्रॉबैक ऑफ दिस मेथड. द प्रिंसिपल ड्रॉबैक ऑफ मीन डेविएशन इज दैट ऑल डेविएशन फ्रॉम द एवरेज वैल्यू ऑफ द सीरीज आर टेकन एज पॉजिटिव while some of these are actually negative. इनमें से कुछ वैल्यूज नेगेटिव भी होंगी, कुछ पॉजिटिव भी होंगी, लेकिन हम नेगेटिव वैल्यूज का भी पॉजिटिव ही कंसीडर कर रहे हैं. दिस इज द प्रिंसिपल और द बिगेस्ट ड्रॉबैक ऑफ दिस मेथड. नाउ वी हैव स्टैंडर्ड डेविएशन. सो एज आई टोल्ड यू, दिस इज वन ऑफ द बेस्ट मेथड, वाइडली यूज मेथड ऑफ कैलकुलेटिंग स्टैंडर्ड डेविएशन, ऑफ कैलकुलेटिंग डेविएशन. It is the most satisfactory method of measuring dispersion. Standard deviation is the square root of the arithmetic mean of the squares of deviation of the items from their mean value. Now what does this mean? I will explain you. The standard deviation was first used by Carl Pearson. Remember, sometimes question may be like this कि आपसे नेम पूछा जाएगा कि who first used standard deviation. So it was Carl Pearson. He was a great mathematician. He used standard deviation for the first time. Standard deviation is also called root mean square deviation. Remember, this is important. It is also called root mean square deviation. Again, it is an absolute method of calculating variation in a distribution. Now, higher the value of standard deviation, this means higher is the dispersion, means higher is the variability in the given data. Okay, lower is the value of standard deviation, this means lower is the variability or the deviation in the given data. Now the formula of standard deviation, the very basic formula of standard deviation is, it is sum of square root of sum of x minus x bar whole square divided by n. Now come to the definition again. Standard deviation is the square root of the arithmetic mean. Square root, you can see we have a square root sign in the formula. Square root of what? Arithmetic mean of the squares of deviation. Now what we are doing? Again say अगर हमें 5 values given है x1, x2, x3, x4 and x5, and we have to calculate standard deviation for this. So what we will do? First we will calculate the mean value and then we will subtract mean from all these values. This will be okay. This is sorry x bar. Okay, x bar, not x2, x bar here. Okay, minus x bar minus x bar. Okay. Now once we have calculated deviation from mean, now we are squaring it. अब हमने इन वैल्यूज का स्क्वायर कर दिया. नाउ स्क्वायर वैल्यूज आर ऑलवेज पॉजिटिव. ओके, स्क्वायर कभी भी नेगेटिव नहीं होता है. 3 का स्क्वायर 9 and minus 3 square is also 9. So we have taken the square values of what? Deviation. Okay, तो look, डेफिनेशन में क्या है? स्क्वायर ऑफ डेविएशन. नाउ यू अंडरस्टूड, हमने डेविएशन का स्क्वायर कैलकुलेट किया है. ओके, नाउ हम क्या कर रहे हैं? इन सारे वैल्यूज को ऐड कर रहे हैं. तो वी आर टेकिंग समेशन ऑफ x माइनस x बार का स्क्वायर. ओके, एंड देन इस सम को हमने डिवाइड कर दिया नंबर ऑफ वैल्यूज. कितनी वैल्यूज है यहाँ पे? 5. तो हमने 5 से डिवाइड कर दिया. ओके, तो हमने एक्चुअली क्या किया? हमने इन डेविएशंस के स्क्वायर का मीन कैलकुलेट कर लिया. अगेन, जब भी हम कुछ वैल्यूज को ऐड करके नंबर ऑफ वैल्यूज से डिवाइड कर रहे हैं तो हम क्या कैलकुलेट कर रहे हैं? वी आर एक्चुअली कैलकुलेटिंग द मीन वैल्यू. सो व्हाट वी आर डूइंग, ये जो वैल्यू लिखा है स्क्वायर रूट के अंदर, ये वैल्यू क्या है? अरिथमेटिक मीन ऑफ द स्क्वायर ऑफ डेविएशन. तो ये जो वैल्यू लिखा है, दिस इज अरिथमेटिक मीन ऑफ द स्क्वायर ऑफ डेविएशन, और हमने इसका स्क्वायर रूट वैल्यू लिया है. तो स्टैंडर्ड डेविएशन इज स्क्वायर रूट ऑफ द अरिथमेटिक मीन ऑफ स्क्वायर ऑफ डेविएशंस ऑफ द आइटम फ्रॉम देयर मीन वैल्यू. सो आई होप नाउ आपको डेफिनेशन क्लियर होगा कि व्हाट डज इट मीन. सो दिस इज द बेसिक फॉर्मूला टू कैलकुलेट स्टैंडर्ड डेविएशन. इन केस अगर मीन वैल्यू इंटीजर में नहीं है तो हम एज्यूम्ड मीन मेथड से भी स्टैंडर्ड डेविएशन कैलकुलेट कर सकते हैं. तो दिस dx is the deviation from assumed mean. So if we have been given 5 values x1, x2, x3, x4 and x5, and if we are subtracting any assumed value from all these values, so we are taking deviation from an assumed value, assumed mean. To these values, what we have denoted dx. So dx are deviation from assumed mean. If we will divide all these deviated value with a common number, say c, okay, in that case, so if we will divide all these values by c, so in that case we can use step deviation method, where dx dash square are what? These step deviated values. जब हमने assumed mean को subtract करके और उन values को एक common number से divide कर दिया, so these values are now the dx dash, okay, step deviated values. So in that case we can use this formula also. Here c is the number by which we have divided all these values. Now just like mean, हम mean के केस में combined mean कैलकुलेट कर सकते थे. In the same way it is possible to calculate the combined standard deviation of 2 or more groups. The formula is like this: n1 sigma 1 square. Here n1 is the number of observation in first group, sigma 1 is the standard deviation of first group, n2 is number of observation of second group, sigma 2 is standard deviation of second group. Now n1 d1 square, n2 d2 square, n1 n2 are again the number of observation. Now what does these d1 and d2 values means? हम सबसे पहले क्या करेंगे, जो ग्रुप्स हमें गिवन हैं उनका हम कंबाइंड मीन कैलकुलेट करेंगे x12 बार. तो स्टैंडर्ड डेविएशन कैलकुलेट करने के लिए फर्स्ट वी विल कैलकुलेट द कंबाइंड मीन ऑफ द गिवन ग्रुप्स. ओके, नाउ व्हाट वी विल डू, हम ग्रुप्स के इंडिविजुअल मीन में से इस कंबाइंड मीन को सब्ट्रैक्ट कर देंगे. तो हम क्या कर रहे हैं, इंडिविजुअल मीन में से कंबाइंड मीन को सब्ट्रैक्ट कर रहे हैं एंड देन हम इनका मॉडुलस वैल्यू पॉजिटिव वैल्यू ले रहे हैं. सो D1, दिस इज व्हाट D1. D1 is x1 bar minus x12 bar. Similarly, once we have calculated x12 bar, तो D2 will be what? हम सेकेंड ग्रुप के मीन में से कंबाइंड मीन को सब्ट्रैक्ट करके उसका मॉडुलस वैल्यू जब कंसीडर कर रहे हैं, दिस विल बी व्हाट D2 बार. ओके, D2 सॉरी. तो D2 will be x2 bar minus x12 bar. ओके, सो कंबाइंड स्टैंडर्ड डेविएशन कैलकुलेट करने के लिए वी हैव टू कैलकुलेट कंबाइंड मीन फर्स्ट. एंड आई होप यू रिमेंबर कंबाइंड मीन का फॉर्मूला क्या था. x12 बार इज n1 x1 बार प्लस n2 x2 बार डिवाइडेड बाय n1 प्लस n2. ओके, in the same way we can calculate standard deviation for 3 or more groups, so the formula can be extended. अगर 3 groups given है तो हम 3 ग्रुप का combined mean निकालेंगे and we will find out D1, D2 and D3 value by taking the modulus value of the difference of group mean and the combined mean. Okay, then we have now standard deviation is an absolute measure. It can measure the deviation for a given set of data, but for a relative measure we have another measure of dispersion, that is coefficient of standard deviation, coefficient of SD. This is standard deviation divided by mean value. So coefficient of SD is standard deviation divided by mean value, sigma divided by x bar. Variance is another absolute measure of standard dispersion. It is simply the square of standard deviation. So variance is sigma square. Variance is standard deviation square. Okay, standard deviation is widely used when we are interested in calculating the risk, especially in financial market. फाइनेंशियल मार्केट में जब हम रिस्की सिक्योरिटीज की बात करते हैं लाइक स्टॉक्स, शेयर्स, वहां पर हम रिस्क को कैलकुलेट करने के लिए स्टैंडर्ड डेविएशन को यूज करते हैं. सो इट इज वाइडली यूज इन कैलकुलेटिंग रिस्क in case of risky securities. Remember this. These are the properties of standard deviation. It can never be negative. Okay, क्योंकि हम क्या कर रहे थे, डेविएटेड वैल्यूज का स्क्वायर कैलकुलेट कर रहे थे. स्क्वायर वैल्यू कभी नेगेटिव नहीं हो सकता. सो स्टैंडर्ड डेविएशन इज कैन नेवर बी ए नेगेटिव वैल्यू. इट इज ऑलवेज अ पॉजिटिव वैल्यू. स्टैंडर्ड डेविएशन इज इंडिपेंडेंट ऑफ चेंज ऑफ ओरिजिन बट नॉट ऑफ स्केल. चेंज ऑफ ओरिजिन, आई होप यू रिमेंबर, if we are having 5 values and if we will subtract or add a common value from all these values, okay, let this value be a. So if you will plus or subtract this value a from all the values, then standard deviation will remain same. So if we are subtracting a common value from all the given values of the series, then standard deviation will remain same. But if we will multiply or divide these values, if we will multiply or divide these values with a common number, then this is what? Change in scale. So then in that case standard deviation will also get changed. So standard deviation is independent of change of origin but not of scale. This property is important. Remember it very carefully. It is sensitive to outliers. That means extreme values. If there are if the number of observations are less and the difference between the extreme values is very large, then in that case standard deviation will have a high value. Okay. It is only used to measure spread or dispersion around the mean of a data set and not to compare dispersion in 2 or more sets. I told you it is an absolute measure of dispersion. So we can find out the deviation with the help of standard deviation for a given set of data, but we cannot compare the dispersion in 2 or more sets of data with the help of standard deviation. It is based on all the values of the series. This is one of the very important property of standard deviation. Just like mean में हम सारी values को consider करते थे. In case of standard deviation also we are considering all the values of the series, and that's why standard deviation is considered as the best measure of deviation, because it considers all the values of the series. Then we have coefficient of variance. Okay, coefficient of variance, it is used to compare the variability or stability, homogeneity or uniformity. The word homogeneous means same, okay, similar. Between two or more series, coefficient of variation is used. Okay, it is a relative measure of dispersion. So coefficient of variation is a relative measure. It was first invented and used by Karl Pearson in 1895, right? It is also known as Karl Pearson's coefficient of variation because it was first used by Karl Pearson. It is 100 times the coefficient of standard deviation. How? Look, the formula of coefficient of variance is standard deviation divided by x bar multiplied by 100. Now you remember in the previous slide we have seen this standard deviation divided by x bar. It was what? It was coefficient of standard deviation. So coefficient of variance is actually coefficient of standard deviation multiplied by 100. Okay, remember this. This is also important. Question may come like this. Higher the value of coefficient of variation, greater is the degree of variability and lesser is the degree of stability. अगर coefficient of variation का value high है तो variation ज़्यादा होगा and stability कम होगा, homogeneity कम होगा, uniformity कम होगा. Okay, remember this. Higher the value of coefficient of variation, greater is the variability, lesser is the stability, lesser is the homogeneity and lesser is the uniformity. On the other hand, if lesser is the value of coefficient of variation, then lesser will be the variability, higher will be stability, higher will be homogeneity, higher will be uniformity. Remember this. Now these are the relation between measures of variation, but only in the case of a bell-shaped symmetric distribution. So I hope you remember a bell-shaped symmetric distribution is something like this. So if the distribution is uniform, in case of uniform distribution we have a bell-shaped curve. This is also known as normal curve. In a bell-shaped symmetric distribution, there is a fixed relationship between the three most commonly used measures of variation. Okay, so these relations are quartile deviation is 2 by 3 times of standard deviation and average deviation or mean deviation is 4 by 5 times of standard deviation. Remember these relations, these are also important. Okay. Now we will see some of the questions. For which of the following it is possible to calculate combined value of two or more groups? So we have seen that in case of standard deviation, we can calculate the combined standard deviation for two or more groups of data. Which of the following statements relating to standard deviation are true? Standard deviation is based on all values of the series. Yes, it is true. We have seen in the properties of standard deviation. Standard deviation shows little effect of change in sample. Yes, it is also true. With the change in sample, there is little effect, or standard deviation is least affected by the change in sample. In the estimation of standard deviation, more importance is given to difficult and extreme values. No, it is wrong. We consider all the values of the series equally in the estimation of standard deviation, right? We do not give relative importance to any values. Standard deviation is capable of further algebraic treatment. Yes, we have seen, we have calculated coefficient of variation, which was standard deviation divided by mean multiplied by 100. So standard deviation is capable of further algebraic treatment. So statement A, B and D are coming in code 2. So this is the right option. Match the items given in list 1 with those given in list 2. Okay, list 2 with those given in list 1. Okay, now range. Range is what? Difference between highest and lowest value. So A का जो right option है वो है second. Okay, range is the difference between highest and lowest value in the series. Variance is variance is square of standard deviation. Okay, coefficient of variation, we have seen that it is 100 times the coefficient of standard deviation. Standard deviation, it is also called root mean square deviation. So A का right option है 2. Now A का right option 2, कोड्स में ऐसा एक ही कोड है जिसमें A का राइट ऑप्शन 2 गिवन है, लेकिन हम बाकी के भी चेक कर लेते हैं. B का राइट ऑप्शन है थर्ड, B का थर्ड, देन C का राइट ऑप्शन है फर्स्ट, C का फर्स्ट एंड D का फोर्थ. सो थर्ड इज द राइट कोड. Dash is the arithmetic average of the deviations of all values taken from some average value of the series, ignoring signs of the deviation. So in case of mean deviation हम क्या करते हैं, साइंस को इग्नोर कर देते हैं, हम मॉडुलस वैल्यू कंसीडर करते हैं डेविएशन का और उनका अरिथमेटिक मीन कैलकुलेट करते हैं. तो मीन इज द राइट ऑप्शन ऑफ द गिवन क्वेश्चन. So students, I hope टॉपिक आपको क्लियर है. If you are preparing for IIT, JEM, CSIR, NET and NTUC NET, then you can buy study material from Edunkle. This will definitely help you to crack your examination. You can also download the app of Edunkle from your Google Play Store. On this app, you will find the support of more than 250 faculties who will help you to solve your queries and to crack your examination. Thank you very much.